I have no degree. I used to work in door-to-door sales. And when you see this framework, you'll be wondering one thing. Why did this guy teach us all this for free? If you've watched any of my videos before, you know I talk about a 4-stage sales system. Let's get into stage number 1. Socials, social media. The easiest way we can break this up is to short and longs. Short, let's say up to 3 minutes. Longs, something over 3 minutes. If every time you talk about a subject, you find yourself doing 3, 4, 5 minutes about it, it's probably better off on YouTube. Our first consideration between the two of these is how people are going to access them. On shorts, they're going to be served it. On longs, they're going to have to click on it. Over the last few years, we've seen something happen called the TikTokification of social media. For so long, we would only see someone's content if we followed them. But now that model has changed massively. TikTok started by showing people content they'd be interested in, not the creators they followed. We've now seen this follow suit with Reels on Instagram. Same things happen on LinkedIn, Facebook, even YouTube Shorts. So suddenly, if you're making short form content, it's not the packaging, it's not how many followers you've got, it's the very first thing you do in that video that's going to determine whether or not someone watches it or stays. So the first thing we need to understand is human behavior. For most of you, when is it that you watch shorts? When is it that you do the majority of your scrolling? I don't know about you, but for me, it's when I'm in bed at night. And we scroll. On average, we probably give a video about 2 seconds. So we need to work on our hooks. The hooks are going to be the first thing we say in a video. Even before we hit record on this video today, I took 10, 15 seconds to think about what was the first thing I was going to say in that video. So you can ensure that you're watching the right video. There are different types of hooks. Visual. This wobbly thing here of fat I've used before to represent body fat. I had really good success in short form content by showing people this. This is 5 pounds of body fat. To lose this amount of weight. We have a statement hook. A statement hook might begin by saying, this has got 120 milligrams of caffeine in it. And did you know, often visual hooks and statement hooks are put together. This is 200 calories of Skittles. Then we have a preview hook, often done in trailers, showing things that are coming up in the video. This is why I really don't like channel trailers, where they put like their logo and a bit of sounds. You're just killing the beginning of that, but we don't really see that in short form content that much. Your best one's gonna be visual hooks, statement hooks, and preview hooks. I nearly forgot question hooks, probably the best ones. How many Skittles would they need to eat to gain a pound of body fat? How many miles are there between the world and the moon? I don't know. It's worth noting that these hooks are also needed in long form content, but they are much more important in short form content because the person needs to make the decision whether or not they're going to watch your video. So when we come over from shorts to longs, the first thing we need to look at is packaging. In your packaging, it's going to be your title and thumbnail because the main place you're going to put this is YouTube. A title and thumbnail is what's going to cause inquisit in that person. So the two things they need to have in their mind, how or why. If someone sees your title and thumbnail and thinks these are those two things, the chances of them clicking are going to be much higher. However, just because that person has clicked, like you have clicked on this, it doesn't mean you're out the woods. You still now have to retain that person. And the two ways you're going to do this, pay off the title and thumbnail and the intro. I did a video the other day where I make $5,337 a day and I teach people how I did it. But I actually had to pay that off. So that people didn't know it's a random number, I bring up the information on my Stripe account so I can actually show people, and then I've shown them it's the last 90 days. So you have the revenue divided by 90. I had to pay off that exact number because some people would have seen that title and thumbnail and gone, why such a specific number? And they get that payoff straight away. Then they realize what the video is about. If I never mentioned or never spoke about that, they would have think I was just baiting them. Great language, James. Now, your introduction is a very important thing in long and in shorts, but your introduction also needs to make people feel sure that they're watching the right video. So again, whatever your video is about, let's say it's about the squat. You need people to very early on understand what's to come. Are you squatting correctly? Are you squatting to enough depth? Should you be wearing lifting shoes? And what accounts as parallel? Suddenly, I've asked all these questions without even giving people the answers, but they now know what they're going to get if they stick with this video. And the next effect, I call it letting the shoulders down. When people click on your video, if they don't follow you, they hate you. And they are ready to leave at any given point. But if you can give them good packaging, a good intro, and pay off the title and thumbnail, you can let their shoulders to drop. And if their shoulders to drop, they might even put their phone down. They might even be cooking dinner. They might even be listening to it in the background when they're folding clothes in their room. And when you can do that, you're going to get some retention. Now, after these two things, we're going to kind of meet in the middle a little bit. We're going to want good pacing. Highly recommend pattern interrupt. Even me switching from front to back camera to this one over here, or even that one then, all forms of pattern interrupt. Even if I go from talking here to talking here with the jump cut, just giving you that little change of scenery and a little different effect on natural lighting is going to make all the difference. Our eyes get very bored. You'll even notice that some YouTube channels at the moment show footage of video games being played whilst they're making their point. Get to the point that you want to make. With these, in long and short form content, imagine this is like a boxing combination. Especially in short form content, in boxing, you want to throw your combination, you want to get in, then get out. You want to start from range where you're safe, get in, left, right, good night, get out. With content, there should be the same amount of urgency to get in, make the point, get out. Don't waffle, don't ramble, don't be asking for a call to action too soon. Just make the point you want to make and get out. With YouTube, as long as you are not boring, they will continue to watch. When it comes to having an outro, a call to action, there is a golden rule you must pay attention to. And we call this the rule of goodwill. On social media, your objective in the onset is to accrue goodwill. It is to give people little moments where they go, oh, never really thought of that before. Oh, never really noticed that before. And if you do that enough times, you're going to accrue a currency of goodwill, which is way better than money. Because if you just do your first video, oh guys, and comment the word punch and I'll send you a boxing breakdown. They're like, who are you, mate? Fuck off. In the onset, even if it takes 3 to 6 months, try and accrue as much goodwill as you can with strangers on the internet. So that when you first ask for their email address or ask them to go to a landing page or ask them to do whatever, they will do it. Which brings me on to stage 2 of our funnel, the squeeze. Some people call this a lead magnet. I'm just going to go through some of the things that are imperative that you understand in this day and age. Once you've accrued enough goodwill, it is time to get someone's email address. It is time to take this conversation away from the dance floor to a proper place. It is time to leave that person alone on the dance floor and wait till they get home on Monday and message them and say, would you like to go for a drink? My favorite platforms for this are Aweber, Klaviyo, and SendGrid. In that order. These are the places, these curate all the email addresses for you. Then to get the email addresses on here, you're going to need a squeeze page. For any of you watching this, there is a link in description that you can look at, 30 days and 30 ways. You can feel free to copy mine. To take someone's email address, we need to give them something of value. The principle for this, what's in it for me with him? So Declan here, if he was to do a squeeze page, he could do something like, over the next 11 days, I'm going to show you how to color grade your footage from log to make it look the best it's ever been. Over the next 14 days, we're going to go through different lens focal lengths. I'm going to show you footage and photos so you can understand what the difference is between a 24mm, a 50mm, and an 80mm. And you can understand the exact settings you need to be using those millimeters in. Another one could be, over the next 30 days, each day, I'm going to be giving you an editing hack that you can use in DaVinci Pro to make your processes of editing not only easier, but more seamless, and to ensure that anyone that ever works with you will never want you to leave. Then all Declan's got to do is write up those sequences as an email autoresponder. Writes email 1, 24 hours. Write email 2, 24 hours. Writes email 3, wait 24 hours. And the best bit is, Declan only needs to really write 3 of these emails, and he can start promoting people to sign up. As long as he remains a day ahead, they will keep getting the autoresponder. Now, depending on the length that you want to go with, you're in charge, you're the boss, I don't tell you what to do. You could send the first few without a call to action. Then ultimately, you've not only accrued goodwill on social media in stage 1, you're now starting to accrue goodwill in stage 2, the email marketing funnel. They're getting your emails every day, they're going, wow, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that every day I'm getting these nuggets. How am I getting this for free? They're then starting to implement the things that you're telling them about in email marketing, and they're starting to have a real impact on their business. The stuff you put on their social media at first is now starting to pay off. Now the things that you're giving them in email, they're starting to implement. They're quite literally getting to the point now where they're thinking, how do I do business with this guy? There's going to be a certain amount of emails that you're going to have to do before they consider doing business with you. The link in the description, I've told people on average between days 19 and 21, people end up buying into my business mentorship. Cool. So then from here, we have the email marketing campaign. Some people will never bite, but then at the end of the responder, you could do a discount, you could do a lower ticket offer, or just leave them there. Another thing you might want to do instead is clean. So every once in a while with your list, if they haven't clicked on your offer or they haven't been opening your emails, feel free to delete them because you are paying for that. You can leave, you can clean. The benefits with leaving someone on your email list is they just might not be right for what you're doing. And in a few months' time, they might be. I'm sure there are people on my email list that never, ever, ever joined my PT program. But the second I launched the world's first productivity drink, they bought a case. They went, you know what, James? I'm in better shape than you. I never really did need your program. But when you bring the drink out, I'll support you. You never know. Declan could bring out a book soon. When he brings out the book, they go, hey, bro, I wasn't interested in your online course. I'm a bit of a technophobe, but I'll buy your book. And some people buy from you, not even just because they need the thing. They do it as a token of appreciation. Sean Casey, people bought his recipe books for the recipes. No, they see a young, ambitious guy doing his thing. They go, do you know what, Sean? Do you know what, Sean? I'll buy you a recipe book because you're a good lad and you've been putting out free content for us over the years. So my way of showing you appreciation is I'll get your recipe book. Did they cook any recipes? Did they fuck? Now, how'd you get good at writing emails? Good question. Well, you write more of them. Same way that if you want to get good at chin-ups, you do more chin-ups. Declan, do you do a lot of chin-ups? Show them. Move the barbell.
Chin-ups or pull-ups?
Chin-ups or pull-ups? We'll go pull-ups. Oh, a bit of chalk, is it? What's your advice to someone that wants to get good at pull-ups?
Do weighted pull-ups for less reps.
Okay, can you actually just answer that question? You can keep this in the edit. Can you just say do more pull-ups?
Sorry.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, so if you want to do more pull-ups, do less reps, but weighted.
The answer I wanted was do more pull-ups, but that's fine. What I was trying to get to, my point is that if you want to get good at pull-ups, do more.
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
Yeah. No, that's right. Sorry. Every time you write an email marketing email, you are working that muscle in your mind that has to be creative, has to come up with ideas. And we're going to go on a quick tangent. Okay, the email marketing thing is split into two. Let's say the two genres of email marketing are going to be broadcast and autoresponder. So if you were going to set up an email chain of 20, 30, 40 emails in a row that people are going to get, that's going to be an autoresponder. You're going to pre-write them, they're going to be there. So if you do click the link in my bio and join that email sequence, I've already written those. I wrote those about 6 months ago. You're going to get them anyway. But I do broadcast on top of that. So the autoresponders are going to be thought out. They're going to be well written. They're going to be strategic. And they're probably going to be a little bit bland because the proposition for this is value. Now, a broadcast is what you send on top of that. So once someone joins your email list, these ones are automated. But the broadcast is, let's say Black Friday. Your Black Friday offer isn't going to be in your autoresponder because unless someone joins at a particular time of the year, they're just not going to be there. But when you broadcast on top, this is where we want to bring in stories. This is when we want to bring in time sensitive issues. So if you've got an interesting story, I always talk about the time that I went to LA and I got a laundry bill. Well, actually, I went to LA. We're leaving the hotel the next day. I call them up and say, can we do the laundry? I want it tomorrow. I didn't look at the pricing. The next day, they said it was going to be in the room by 9 a.m. At 9:30, I call them up and I go, look, where's my laundry? You said it was going to be here. It's not here. They said, sir, check your wardrobe. Suddenly I knew at that moment. See what I'm doing here? I'm telling the story. At this moment, I was like, if it's in my wardrobe, this is going to be some expensive laundry. It was $550 US. It would have been cheaper to fly my mum from London to LA to get her to do my laundry and fly her back than it would have been for that. That made a good story because then in that email, I said, the only way you could have a worse day than me is if you don't join my program. So autoresponders, a bit more serious. For the broadcast, stories, time sensitive. Look, back in the day, there were times I prematurely ejaculated on a first date. I put it in a broadcast. This is your cake. These are your sprinkles that go on top of it. Broadcasts, stories, funny things that have happened. Share it in real time. So the one day someone will fist bump you in the street, go, oh man, or oh lady, that story you told about that first date from Hinge was hilarious. Thank you so much. There are so many people that back in the day read my emails just because they wanted to be entertained. And there comes a day where their jeans don't button up and they go, you got me. Because no one's mental enough to try and sell to someone 10 months. Okay, let's get to stage 3, shall we? Come on, James. So we've got the email address. You're sending fire. If in the autoresponder, give people a bit of breathing room, okay? Give people a bit of breathing room. Maybe don't have a call to action for the first few, then start hammering them because you're not a charity. But there comes a time that eventually someone's going to click on that link. Where's that link going to take them? We now reach stage 3, the landing page. Now, some people get this confused with the squeeze page. So I'm going to make it very, very easy for people to understand. Squeeze page, one objective. What's that, Declan? Get the email address. Cool. Landing page, one objective. Get people to buy the product. Now, even if they don't end up buying your product, that is okay. We kind of want them perusing the menu. And I've said this a lot of times before. The landing page is like someone walking past your restaurant. It's us showing them the menu. You don't just have what it is on the menu, you make it sexy. And for the entrees, we have the quesadilla. You don't just say quesadilla. You say we've got some of the finest cheese mixed with some of the tomato pico de gallo. You make it sexy. You do the same here. You overpromise, you overdeliver. Now, I won't go into this too much detail. We need what it is, why they need it, what they get, why to trust you, how to pay, Stripe, why to trust you, money back guarantee. These will be case dependent on what you want. And again, I've said this a million times before. Let's make this look real sexy. Video sales letter. Video sales letter is a video that you're going to put on that page. And real simply, right? It's not overly edited. A bit like this video. It's kind of chilled. Imagine this as a video sales letter. Hi guys, welcome to my business mentorship page. My business mentorship is a video module course where I break down all of the lessons that you need to understand, from email marketing, squeeze pages, landing pages, how to set out your pricing, how to differentiate yourself, how to make content on social media. It's not just that. You get access to a Discord community where I'm in there every day helping you, giving you critique on your videos. The reason you need this is you need someone to support you and to give you feedback on the things you're doing. The people in your gym just aren't going to be able to do that, and you're probably going to need someone in your life that's done the things that you want to do in your life. Why to trust me? Because there are testimonials of some of the coaches that I've had beneath. If you join today, you'll get access to all the other courses. You see what I mean? It's just candid. It's just chatting. It's just getting to know that person so that they know it's not a scam. As far as software for these pages, I do not get paid to say this. I think lead pages do the nicest looking pages. This is your menu, right? Some people try and host their landing page on shitty websites like Wix and Squarespace, or even try and host it with their email marketing platform. You wouldn't do a menu to a restaurant and put it on shitty paper, or do do it in Times New Roman, would you? You wouldn't skimp on that bit because you've built the building, you've got the chefs, you've built the kitchen, you've got the tables and chairs, and you clean the knives and the forks and you mop the floor. Then you decide to skimp at the menu, the one thing that's going to stop people from ordering and paying and giving you money. Do you understand how crazy that is? So when I come across businesses that do everything right, they've got the degree, they've done the S&C qualification, they've got their fucking whatever it is in osteopath kinesiology, they've got a shit landing page and it creates a bottleneck for everything that they do because it just looks like shit. Now, some golden rules, which again, not everyone's going to agree with me on. Fuck sales calls unless you're really desperate. If you're really desperate and you like need 2 clients who you're going to fucking go under, don't do it. If someone says they want a sales call, just offer them a money back guarantee for a month. Go, look, I'd love to jump on a call with you, but I'm a busy professional. I've got loads of clients in here that I'm servicing. It's not fair for me to give you an hour when I've got people that are paying me that need that hour. Why someone needs a sales call after a money back guarantee, I just don't know. I just don't know. Pricing. I know a lot of you at the moment are in this position where you're like, oh, and pay 6 months up front and get a discount, and you can do 3 months up front. People are fucking broke right now. Interest rates are high to cause a problem to get people to stop spending money. Quite literally, to deal with inflation, the whole world is stopping people from spending loads of money. And now you, so many of you, have made it a goddamn prerequisite that someone needs to have £500 or $1,000 to do business with you. Make it as easy as possible. If you can offer weekly pricing, it's all the same to you. Whether you get paid 4 times a month or 4 times that amount once a month or 12 times that amount every 90 days, it doesn't matter to you that much, but to them it matters a lot. To some people, spending $500 takes them between having no money and being able to survive the month. Plus, some people, if you give them the opportunity to train for a week or 2 weeks, they'll go, hey, come on, man, it's $60. It's $60, man. I'll try him out for a week or I'll try her out for a week. They get in and go, wow, I get all this for $60. I'm never leaving. But you guys, the higher you put your price point, and I'm not asking you to be cheaper, I'm asking for you lot to make it easier. If you're a personal trainer or a physio, you're not like, oh, you got to pay me for 3 months in advance. Come in, let me treat you, get out, pay me weekly, pay me however you like. Just say to people, I appreciate the economic climate is tough. Pay me how you like. Those of you that are like, oh, I need a 3-month commitment, it just makes you seem insecure. You don't need commitments from people unless you're shit. Because if you're really good, people are never leaving. The second you're like, you need a 3-month commitment up front, it just makes me feel like you're broke and you need the money, which is not what we want. A friend of mine yesterday tells me, Declan, good looking mate, one of my best looking mates says to me, in Bondi, he told a girl he wanted a relationship. She called it off 2 days later. I said, of course, you said you wanted a relationship. That's the golden rule. You never say what you want. If he'd just been chill, she probably would have tried to lock him down and he could have played it off and they could have settled into a relo. The second you try too hard, people don't like it. As a man on a night out, not me and Declan because we're in happy relationships, all you want to do is take a girl home and sleep with her. But if she was to say, take me home and let me sleep with you, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on? People read people very well. Don't try too hard. Don't try locking them in. Just be like, yeah, if you want to train me, that's okay. Here's the price. 3-month commitment, don't need it. Oh, why is that? Because I'm great at my job and you give me a week, you're never leaving. For my online coaching platform, you get a 7-day free trial and a 2-week money back guarantee on top of that. Why? Because it's good. And by removing all the barriers we can, people that are like, I have no interest in joining, I'm just going to check it out, become lifelong bloody clients. We're just going to quickly look into the trickle effect, which is a term I just made up. You get 1,000 people to follow you on social media. 20% is a golden rule. It's going to be 200 people you want in emails. If you're not getting 20% of that 1,000, you're not squeezing people hard enough. Out of those, let's say 25% are going to go to your landing page, which is going to be 50 people. Out of 50 people that land on your landing page, you might get 1 client. So if you want 5 clients, you're going to need 5,000 views. You're going to need 1,000 emails. This funnel over time only becomes more narrow and more efficient because you get better at making content, you get better at writing emails, you perfect your landing page over time, and your business builds a better reputation. The reality is in the onset, your funnel looks like this. It's going to be so difficult to even get 10%. And then out of that, people that go to your landing page, it's going to be like this. And then out of this, you probably get 0.5 clients. And it'll be frustrating and you'll think that everything you're doing is shit, but just keep in mind, I promise you, as you keep hustling, your client, reputation, emails, content, you're just going to become a killer. Funnels can only get thinner now. Because I teach you. God, I hope that doesn't get copyright struck. So understand, in the onset, a bit like being a white belt in jiu-jitsu, you are so shit, but as you get better and you become more efficient in every part of your game, from guard retention, passing, takedowns, soon you end up as a black belt. When you start jiu-jitsu, the amount of people that sub you is everyone. And then suddenly it's 90% of people, then it's 80% of people. Then before you know it, you're a black belt and you haven't been tapped out in 3 months. It's the same for content creation. It's the same for all of these processes that I'm teaching you about now. Stage 4, the sale. Something we need to talk about. I have a golden rule in marketing. If you're doing face-to-face business, or if you're doing online, there is only a finite amount of sessions or people that you can work with. So let's map it out. Let's imagine a spectrum. Let's say this is the optimal amount of clients that you want to work with. Cool. Let's call this max. If you're here, you need to market harder. How do I know? Because you're not full. If you're here, you need to market harder. And if you're at maximum capacity, you need to increase your rates. Why do you need to increase your rates? Because you're full. This means you are too cheap. How do I know? Because you wouldn't be full unless you were too cheap. So many of us get to this point here thinking this is cool because this means more money, when the reality is the further you go here, the worse your level of service gets. And going here jeopardizes all of these, because you all know if you stretch yourself too thin, you're going to reduce your level of quality. Not only that, if you're doing too much with the people that pay you, you're not going to have the energy to do the content and the things you need to get the people that haven't paid you yet. So we never want to take on too many people. Now, if you put your rates up, something could happen. You could end up well below capacity again. Now, this looks very worrying from the outset, but let's make this clear. If you increase your rates by 10 or 15%, which is completely normal, here you are earning more money than you did here in the red before. You are better off having less clients pay you more than too many clients paying you the same rate. And it's a lot more money in comparison when I teach you this one thing. And this is how you're going to get the confidence to put your rates up. Let's imagine a client pays you this amount. This bit here is going to be costs. Even me making this video, this camera, that guy, this fucking studio are costs. Then I've got tax. These aren't two sides. Then here, let's say take home. If I want to give someone a discount, I would have to say I take 10% off my costs. My tax reduces maybe a tiny bit. My costs remain the same. I'm really just eating into my flipping take home. Whereas if you increase the amount that you're charging someone, your tax may be a couple of percent. Your costs are not going to change. Whenever you put your rates up, it's just extra money in your pocket. The only place your prices can ever go is up. Now, the only way you can put your rates up is through demand. The best lesson I can ever give you is it's not the amount of degrees you got. It's not where you went to uni. It's not how good looking you are. It's not the socio-economic state of the country. It's not who's the president of the United States. It's not what's happening with Bitcoin prices. The thing that determines how much you charge is the demand for your services. The more people that want what it is to sell, the more you can charge for it. It's the reason that Rolex can charge £6,000 for a watch. It's the reason that Ferrari can charge £500,000 for a car. Ferrari and Porsche don't even advertise. Well, I've never seen an advert for it because they have such demand for their services. And the way that you're going to create adamant demand for your services is using social media, making good content that resonates with people where you can retain them. You can talk about subjects that solve their problems. You can then get people's email addresses from them. You can give them a lot of value and a bit of entertainment. You can send people to a well-curated landing page where they can peruse the menu. Remember, we don't want to be too pushy, like a restaurant owner. Hey brother, come in, check out the menu. Let me know if there's any questions. Not, hey, you want to come eat in my restaurant? Let's jump on a call for 45 minutes and let's talk about it. Maybe you could give me a 3-month commitment where you come to my... No, be relaxed, be chilled. There's everything. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, is there anything you can do on price? Sorry, I've got staff, I've got a lovely restaurant. If someone wants to discount your restaurant, go eat somewhere else, mate. And again, if someone's unsure about using your services, send them somewhere else. Send them somewhere else. Here's the thing, right? Alex Hormozy said this. It's probably the only thing that really resonated that he said. He goes, people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. This, for some of you, you know most of this already. You need to be reminded of this, not taught this. You already know what you should be doing, you just haven't been doing it. And again, think about this. I know a lot of you are fitness people. Creatine. You take it makes you 8% stronger, gives you 3% more muscle mass. But you take it because that performance enhancement of only 8% is worth it to you. You take it every day, you do it every day. Getting this right, even if it only gave you an 8% gain on what you were doing, that is a staggering amount of money over months and years. That's how you should see me. Creatine gains for your business. Am I going to fourfold the revenue your business makes in a year? No. But if you get these processes right, you might see a nice 8 to 10% improvement. And that, as a return on investment of what my course is a flipping bargain. So I'll put a link to the 30-day autoresponder in the description. I'll also put a link in there for my business course if you want to work with me. And YouTube recommends that you should watch this video of mine. And as we've said before, YouTube is very smart. So if YouTube thinks you need to watch it, I think you should watch it.